Alright, so welcome to something a little different here. I just finished Arkham Knight, and now before the next main game that I start, I wanted to do something I've been wanting to get to for a while. This is a personal, I guess, I don't know if, I wouldn't consider it a guilty pleasure, because it's just normal pleasure. I don't feel guilty playing this game. This fucking game's awesome, dude. This is, of course, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, a game on the Sega Genesis. It is a very bizarre game, but it is a game that I love very, very much nonetheless. So the main concept of the game, real quick, just to get into the basics, is you are controlling Michael Jackson. You are going through these areas. You can kick chairs at people, which I think is cool. There's like little environmental kills. But as you could see, there are all these little girls throughout the map. You know, you have to go rescue them, essentially. They're going to be hidden indoors. They're going to be hidden just kind of around. Sometimes you'll have to work a little harder to find these people. But the main concept of the game is that you are rescuing little children. Which, yeah, everyone can make the fucking jokes. But, you know, it's innocent. It's innocent. And I'm not going to get into, like, whether or not Michael Jackson was a horrible molester or not, you know, that's neither here nor there. This is just an enjoyable video game where you happen to play as Michael Jackson. So as soon as you, I almost said kidnap all the kids, Jesus Christ, man. I honestly don't think he did anything, but I almost just slipped up and said he kidnapped those children. But if you hold down the special attack button, you will charge it up. You'll lose more health, but you'll also do it's a screen nuke. It gets rid of all those guys. There's so much going on right now that I'm having trouble commentating on every single little bit of this game. But you saw there at the... Sorry, I just had to let that go, because that's amazing. At the end of the level, after I rescued all the children, a monkey just came. That is Michael Jackson's real-life pet monkey, Bubbles. And what he does, first off, he gets rid of all the enemies on the screen, and he will point you to the direction that the boss is going to appear at. The boss, whose name is Mr. Big, played by a Mr. Joe Pesci, a Jersey native, just like myself. But anyway, this is based on the movie of the same name, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I've never watched the movie. I've really only played the game, and I don't know, I love this game. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking like, oh, you're just goofing. It's just like a gaffe, like a goof, that you're saying that you like this game. It's not an ironic like, yo man, it's so cool to say you like bad games. But no, this is a good game. I will throw this game on every now and then, and I will enjoy the hell out of it, because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and the fact that there is a side-scrolling game where you play as Michael Jackson, who kicks fairy dust out of his ankles, or out of his kneecaps, and, you know, we haven't even scratched the surface. There's so much crazy shit you could do in this game. If you hold up on the D-pad, you've probably seen me do it already, but I'm doing it right now. If you hold up on the D-pad, Michael Jackson will grab his crotch and go, woo! It's amazing. I fucking love this game, dude. Sometimes the screen nuke won't work on boss battles like this, because this is technically what this is. But I don't think this game is really all that difficult. I want to know if the sound clips in this game are actually Michael Jackson or not. Like, if they just had, like, a sound-alike, or if Michael Jackson actually, like, did, like, the sound clips for this. Speaking of sound and Michael Jackson, the soundtrack ain't that bad, you know? It's a Genesis game, so the soundtrack isn't amazing. It's got that Genesis twang. Also, I don't know what happened to that guy. He literally just exited the door and died. I don't know what happened there. I don't think I killed him. But yeah, throughout the levels, classic Michael Jackson songs will play, such as right now, Smooth Criminal is playing, and it's definitely one of my favorite aspects Because if this game just had a generic score, I don't think it would be really anything to write home about. But since you go through these levels and, you know, Thriller and Bad and The Way You Make Me Feel will play, it's all really great stuff. My personal favorite Michael Jackson song is not in this game, but it's technically in a game anyway. My favorite Michael Jackson song being Stranger in Moscow, and why I say it's technically in a game is because it's the credit theme for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because Michael Jackson allegedly did the music for that game, and the credit theme and Stranger in Moscow are literally identical songs. If you were to listen to them back to back, they are exactly the same song. But yeah, man, I love this game. I only discovered it like a couple years ago. I think the first time I ever saw it, and I'm sure the first time most people saw this, was in the Angry Video Game Nerds review, but that was like right when that came out I saw that, so I really haven't watched that video in a really long time, but yeah, I discovered this game a couple years ago, and I've loved it ever since. This is what most people would consider like a cult classic game, but right there, the way I lowered that ladder was, again, I pressed the special attack button, which makes Michael Jackson do that spinny attack, and that's also the screen nuke attack if you hold it down. I don't know why that's how you have to open certain things, because like you'll have to get into manhole covers that way, you'll have to lower staircases like that, and if you notice, I took a little bit of, you know, it takes away some health every time you do that attack, and the only reason I edited there was because I forgot where that girl was, and instead of you watching, you know, he doesn't have the greatest of running speeds, Michael Jackson, so I just edited down there. I do have these levels pretty well memorized, so this is going to be a pretty proficient Let's Play, you know. I don't really think the game's all that difficult, really, so, yeah. It's going to be a short one, too. It's either going to be 2 or 3 videos. Yeah, I've never seen the movie. Maybe I should do that. Maybe in between this video and the next video, I'll track down the movie and I'll watch it. Maybe, I wonder if it's on Netflix, actually. I doubt it. One thing I wish is that you could change costumes, like, in between levels. Like, I'd love to be able to play as the classic Thriller jacket Michael Jackson. I mean, I do love the smooth criminal look. He is a very, very smooth criminal. That boss was pretty self-explanatory. I think this game is pretty self-explanatory. Well, maybe not. God, the fact that this goddamn game exists. Just, sometimes I play this game and I go, I'm playing a game as Michael Jackson right now. Like, that would be equivalent to, I don't know, a game where you play as Taylor Swift and you go around breaking up with your boyfriends. I don't know. General Taylor Swift jokes that are unoriginal, I guess. Now, this is when the game starts getting interesting, because the levels start getting a little more open. I like these enemies because they look like we're fighting, you know, we're Michael Jackson fighting a whole bunch of gingers. I think they're supposed to be wearing, like, do-rags, but they look like just gingers. So, the thing that I'm having a problem with here is that there's one girl on the level right below me, and you can't just, like, go across it like that. It's very annoying. And here, I was trying to figure out what to do with that fire hydrant, because it's very out of place. I know sometimes you can kick, like, garbage cans, and I didn't know why that was there, so that's why I was kind of, like, molesting that, fire hydrant there. I guess poor choice of words, but... So yeah, you gotta kind of finesse your way up there. The game controls actually fairly tight, I'd say, for what it is, you know, it's... Again, it's a fucking game where you're playing as Michael Jackson, beating up dogs, kicking trash cans at gingers, like... This game plays better than it really should. And I love it. Like, I don't think anyone understands my love for this game. I think it's a game that even a non-Michael Jackson fan could enjoy. Also, I really fucked up there, but I'm going to be able to show off something I was going to show off anyway, which is that attack there, which has such great Genesis noises. But, I walked into Joe Pesci because I wanted to crotch grab, like, right in front of him. But what ended up happening was he did damage to me because I guess you can't touch him. I guess you can't touch that. Is this a MC Hammer game? But luckily, if you die at the boss, it'll spawn you back to essentially just bubbles, and you just have to find the boss. So, again, here we're going to make these guys dance, because I think that's the best way to do this. God damn, man, I love this fucking game. There's some other moves that I haven't shown off yet. I'm going to save those for when I feel the time is right. Enemies that are above you, I think, are always the most annoying things to deal with in this game. Because Michael Jackson doesn't have, like, a kind of up attack, if you will. He really just has, like... Well, we'll get to, in this next level, why his crouching attack is actually really broken. I seriously love that. Every single level transition you get it. Ooh! It does not get much better than this. And every single E3 that for the past like 5 years since I discovered this game, I just want there to be a gritty reboot of this game. We need gritty Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. But yeah, this is when you realize that yes, this is a game where you can beat up dogs as Michael Jackson. I mean, truly, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. You know, the fire's in their eyes and their words aren't really clear, so just beat it, dogs, you know? You want to be careful in this level, because if there are not, in fact, little girls in the cars, what's going to happen is that there's going to be like a bomb in the car, because I guess we're dealing with terrorists here? I don't know. Again, I've never seen the movie. Maybe this makes sense to someone who's seen the movie. So, you know, there's bombs to watch out for. Again, this game controls so much better than it really has any business controlling. The only time where it's wonky is, as I said in the last boss, is attacking people who are above you. Like that guy, it's kind of difficult. You have to do some sort of jumping attack, which is usually going to get you hurt. There is an up attack that you can do, but you have to, like, he does it out of one hand, and it's a very specific spot you have to hit, if that makes any sense. And there's that attack again, where you essentially just throw your hat and it blows them up. This game is amazing. And like I said, we haven't even scratched the surface of this yet. The next level is going to introduce something that is so bizarre, and it's so amazing. But right here, I'm going to show off, first off, the screen nukes don't always work, because those guys just essentially left. It doesn't matter all that much, because MJ's still got all the right moves. But this is where I'm going to demonstrate that the crouching attack is really broken. Because if you just crouch and attack, you will never get hurt in this fight. Because this is an attack so powerful, it hits enemies behind you. Of course, this is the problem, is if no one starts moving towards you. Also, that guy who just left the screen will never have to deal with him, because he literally just kind of, like, walks away. I don't understand. But here we go. This is... Well, actually, technically it was in that last level, but this is, I think, the easiest point to show it off. So the level starts off all normal, you know. You're still fighting gingers. Still looking for little girls. Which I'm not going to comment on. It's just... It's innocent, personally. So over here, there's a shooting star. If you manage to catch it... This is a video game where Michael Jackson catches shooting stars and turns into a robot. What is not to love about this game? I cannot stress enough how much I love this game. You beat up gingers. You murder gingers with your I-beams. They just blow up. This is the greatest video game of all time. So Mecha Jackson, in addition to having those sweet, just those wicked I-beams. You can see where all the little girls on the map are. You can't collect them or rescue them. They're technically collectibles. I'll say collect. You can't rescue them because you're Mecha Jackson. They're too scared, I guess. So, Jesus Christ, man, what was the thought process in making this game? Someone on the development team had to say, Michael Jackson needs a power-up in this game. Let's turn him into a robot. Let's turn him into a robot that kills things with the I-beams. Someone had to okay that. First off, someone had to suggest it. Then someone had to okay it. I mean, again, it sounds like I ironically like this game, but I think this is just such a... It's a cult game, you know, but... Again, that's another area where you have to do the spinny attack to open something. The sewer grate there. Also, you don't go down this ladder like you would in a normal game. You have to press down and jump. And then if you jump back up them. But that really doesn't make sense to me, personally. But yeah, I actually legitimately think this game has, like, merits. And I don't really care about it. Once I know that the next girl is the last one, I usually don't really care all too much about taking damage. Because as soon as Bubbles shows up, he heals you, so it's not really that big a deal. And once we find this last girl, who I think is, yep, right there, we're going to enter into, I think, the most annoying boss, or at least one of the most annoying bosses in the game. And Bubbles was a little weird here. I think you have to actually stand on that wall. Haha, you'll never catch me. Yeah, we'll just see about that. So, this is another area where the screen nuke actually will work. Once again, just want to say this is a video game where you play as Michael Jackson and you can dance with dogs. To the tune of Beat It, of course. So, you can also just stand here and punch these dogs forever because they're infinitely spawning. But what you're supposed to do, and why I think this boss is so annoying, is this white dog is the one that you have to kill or punch. And whenever you get real close to him, he'll essentially just run away from you. So you have to position it well. This is what I was talking about, where if you press up and attack, he'll have an attack, but you have to position it right. That's the best way to, I think, beat this dog, is if you position that right. Just keep mashing it and you'll do it. So that's the end of Act 2-3 and the end of the first video. I will see you next time for 3-1.